Let's get to technology now. You may, a few years ago, have got fed up with your phone provider and started using a little web application called Skype to make some phone calls. You may now use it for video calling. There's another player on the block, though. That is called Tango. And Tango is about to do something that apparently its competitors like Skype haven't and can't do as yet. We're fortunate enough to be joined now by Eric Seton, who is the co-founder and Chief Technology Officer. I guess CTO stands for.
That's right.
What do I know about technology? Chief Technology Officer for Tango. Eric, first of all, explain, everybody knows Skype. Tango's, I guess, a newer player on the block, but becoming a big player. What makes you different and better, and what are you about to do that's going to make you even better?
So the service is new. It came out a year ago, and in just 1 year, we're now over 26 million users.
Wow.
So we're growing at double the speed of Skype, and we're the leaders on phones. Tango is the easiest one to use because there's no login, no password, and we find your contacts for you automatically from your phone's address book. So today, very excited that Tango is actually going to be the first solution available out on the Windows Phone 7 new smartphone operating system, Mango. So with our lead in mobile, we wanted to cover all the devices. And with this new great OS from Microsoft, we wanted to be first in line, and that's where we are today.
So you are the only one of these kind of applications that can be used across Windows platforms, across Apple platforms. You can be used across any platform.
That's right. We support today over 450 devices, smartphones and tablets. We're on the iPhones, the iPads, we're on all the Android phones, and we're now on Windows Phone 7. So we're the only one that is really cross-platform. And with Tango, it doesn't just work inside, it also works outside on the 3G, 4G networks. So wherever you are, you can just whip out your phone and place a video phone call. Last night for Halloween, we had hundreds of thousands of families that were following their kids trick-or-treating around the neighborhood and seeing them over Tango. I think it's like a delightful application of the service.
And what are you most proud of in about the way that this does bring people together?
There's an intimacy that gets created when you see the person on the other side. We've got a team in Beijing, China, and so I travel there every 6 weeks. Every time that I video call my wife, my little daughter sees me on the phone and she comes and she kisses the device. So for me, there's nothing I'm prouder than that.
Do you think that we are moving to a point in which everybody is going to be using face-to-face calling rather than old-fashioned phone calls?
Absolutely. Really, it's about speaking to your spouse, speaking to your kids or your parents. I think nothing beats really seeing them, especially if we can give you the convenience of having it on your phone, right? With no login, no password, not all these complicated things. And when you think about it, there are over 1.1 trillion minutes of calling that get made every year from mobile phones. And I see 10, 15, 20% of all these calls actually becoming video calls. I think it's a huge market opportunity.
Now, I use it all the time. When I travel, I talk to my kids on it all the time, and it is wonderful. How on earth, though, do you get the older generation? I can't get my mother to work out these things out at all. But Tango is simple enough that even my mother could work out how to use it?
Actually, for the older demographics, we thought that we'd be able to skip the PC generation and just be on the smartphones, on the tablets, and one day on the TV. But people were crying out to have it also on the computer. And a month ago, we released it for the desktops. And so now, a lot of the grandparent generation that's not moved to smartphones can actually participate in the fun and use it on the computer. And so even on the computer, we made it look like a phone because everybody knows how to use a phone.
So what about the uses? Do you see people using this more in terms of, I'm thinking of the protest movements we've seen around the world, etc. Is this kind of technology going to start making a real difference? Because, for instance, we might be able to see in real time protesters and the way they're treated in, say, Syria or Iraq or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. And, we're actually very big in the Middle East. And one of the most touching things for us this year was, when the earthquakes in Japan hit, the phone lines were all jammed. But the IP calls kept going. And so people told us, thanks to Tango, I could check that tonight, my family has shelter. And I think, for us, the emotion of allowing these use cases phenomenal.
And what are the costs to any user who's making a video call who wants to subscribe or anything? There is no subscription, there is no login.
So listen to this. It's with Tango, you get free phone calls and you get free video calls. It's absolutely free to the end user.
How on earth are you making any money?
We're launching our first premium service actually for the holidays, and we'll be speaking more about that later on.
So there'll be premium services that people pay for. Do you have advertising on the site?
You know, we really don't, and we think, you know, it's kind of bad taste when you're speaking to your kids or your wife, you know, to kind of splash some ads there. We really don't want to get anywhere close to that.
All right, well, good luck. It sounds like a great application. I will be checking it out tonight, trying it alongside the Skype that I currently use, and maybe I'll switch to Tango. We'll see.
Sounds great.
Eric Seton, co-founder and CTO of Tango, thanks very much for being here today.